We have to clear.
Clear. Gotta clear.
Go get the gurney.
Oh, God, yeah, I'll go get it. Or crib. Will crib too?
Yeah, crib.
So welcome back, everyone. We're going to be watching more of The Walking Dead today. We're on episode 13 of season 3. Michonne and Carl had some bonding time last time. They got a crib at the end.
That's
Yes.
good.
Got a picture of the family.
Yes.
So that was good. And big deal, we saw Morgan.
Morgan, yes.
Morgan. Poor Morgan. He's all by himself.
Yes.
Nobody around. His son's gone.
Wayne, yeah.
Man. But he was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he was very tactical on how he got walkers. He had live rodents and
that was
different varied birds and anything he could to capture them, and then he clears them. You know, and he's doing it, you know, the best way he can. You know, he has to do it because he's trying to stop the spread in his little area.
I mean, it's sad, but everyone copes differently, and everyone lost people, but he feels so much guilt because he never killed his wife. I mean, she was already dead, but the walker still has her face, and because he feels so cowardly, he couldn't do it.
That's right.
His son died from, actually from his mom,
That's right.
Yeah.
And because he couldn't do it, his son naturally couldn't do it. And he lost him because of it.
Definitely.
And it's
really sad.
It's really playing with him. And although he wants someone to kill him, he's still doing very well. He's thriving, actually. I mean, he's got a lot of, guns and stuff. He's got a lot of supplies. But he's just hunkering down and staying there. He's not going to leave.
Well, he's got booby traps all over the place.
Yeah, he does. He's pretty smart.
Actually seeing someone else, because he was alone, it seems like, for a long time, and he mentally was crazy. He was delirious. He didn't recognize Rick. He just assumed he was dead, and he's wearing a dead man's face, and maybe seeing people that he did trust at one point, or at least Rick, he knew Rick, that maybe mentally it kind of maybe stabilize him a little bit. Living in this episode, I'm just
snapped him out of it, even if it was just for a moment, in time. It snapped him out of it, and thank God Rick found the radio to just really jar his memory. Remember?
That's right.
Remember his radio?
Yeah.
So
thank goodness.
That was good. And at least Rick knows where he is, and if he ever needs any more ammo or guns, he knows where to go.
Boy.
And luckily they were able to take some from him. I mean, they didn't want to do it by force, and Morgan agreed to take some or whatever, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and what's going to happen next? So at the end, Carl told his father that Michonne is one of us.
Yeah.
Yes. She most definitely is.
She's
I
great.
mean, she really stepped
really
up.
great. Yeah.
I mean, to go into the bar and get, the family portrait and all that stuff, and to get, the little...
With all the walkers in there.
Yeah, and to help him get the crib and everything.
Yeah,
that was
great.
She's a very sweet person.
And Carl made it very challenging for her.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he was very stubborn, and he didn't trust her and didn't care.
That's right.
Yeah, he wanted to do his own thing. I mean, if she just said, okay, whatever you wanted to do, I think Rick would have been really pissed at her, because he trusted, or is trying to not test her. It's kind of a test, but he trusts her enough to be like, okay, and trusts his son enough to handle himself with Michonne.
Yes,
but that's huge.
Carl.
So if she just said, okay, do what you want, and then what do you say to Rick later? Okay, your son just told me what to do, and I just didn't go with him at that point. And you never know, he could have got himself killed because he was so tunnel vision about getting that picture, and there were so many walkers in there. So thank goodness she was able to talk with him and push Stain with him to help him out.
And they had the rodents in there too.
Yeah, and skateboard or something, right? Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah.
Until the rat got out and was like,
That's
hey.
right, yeah.
Oh my God. Remember that bartender grabbed his ankles when he was trying to reach for the portrait?
I know, you let your guard down one time, and it's like, holy crap, you just never know. You're going to be so careful.
Yeah,
and
she was back.
Big question, what was in that orange bag at the end? I didn't mean to laugh. That was really terrible on how that guy died.
Granola bars. I don't know.
It had pots and pans or something on there.
He had he was ready for camping. I mean, he was ready to live off the land, and that's probably what he's been doing. He had his camping gear. on the outside, his, for eating.
That's right.
And drinking. So I'm sure he had like a blanket and stuff like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a gun. I don't know. Maybe he did.
Who knows? I mean,
He had a weapon,
everything in there, woo! But anything you can get, I mean, survival here.
Right.
It
Could be just random
waste
stuff.
just
It could be
leaving it
just family heirloom, just something
Could
he's
be.
holding on from his family. You don't know.
Can you imagine if he was a crazy guy and he just had like a lot of dirt in there? Like
He might have a lot of medicine too in there. You don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Could have a vaccine for all this.
Can you imagine? Like
I'm
that
just
was
trying to give this to you.
I know. I have the cure. I have the vaccine.
I just wanted you to come. I want to give it to you too.
So this is off topic, and this shirt doesn't fit me at all, but it was really big, and I tried sewing it down a long time ago. But I'm wearing Yondu. It's Mary Poppins, y'all. Just cause Merle Yondu.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
was he
God.
Merle?
I love
Then he
Yondu.
turned to Yondu.
Yeah, I'm so conflicted. Shall we get into it?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes.
And we're watching on Netflix. So 3:13.
So you're walking too? Oh, so they got out of the prison? Oh, they heard you creaking.
Oh, I hate it when it's so quiet.
Well, that's gonna scare you.
Oh, the governor.
Oh,
Oh, great. Showdown.
lovely.
The old, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll go snicker.
We have a lot to talk about.
No, we don't. We need to shoot you. Son of a... He's got his buddies surrounding.
No trouble.
Yeah, right. Who else is lurking behind?
Not you.
No. Hell no. He'll torture you. He's got a gun on
Yes,
there.
he does.
No. Holy crap.
yeah, he must have
Oh,
some.
what a bastard.
Yeah.
Heads up.
Heads up.
Yeah.
Heads up and hide. Oh, crap. They're going to be rebels. Oh, the whole gamut.
He's here?
Yep.
I knew that, he's saying.
You want to talk? Talk.
I wanted you to talk. Too many people have died for no reason.
We're here to move forward.
Oh, I can't stand his snicker.
Milton, Mammoth.
Great. He brought his butler.
I'm his advisor.
Shut your mouth.
Ooh,
You don't tell that to Daryl.
Kind of like every little, every noise.
Yeah.
You suggesting that we just go in and kill him?
Yeah, I am.
No.
1,000 things could go wrong.
And they will.
My dad can take care of himself.
It's not the right move. Not now. Can't take the risk of putting them in the crossfire.
We should hammer out boundaries and leave each other
Sorry,
alone.
what is this?
It's a solution.
I'm here
She's going to find out
You're gonna
when
find.
he's really there.
your surrender.
Oh,
say,
you
yeah.
son of a gun. Look under the table, quick.
Yeah.
Oh, now this jerkball. Oh, I thought he was going to come in too. I don't like it.
Wasn't Merle your lieutenant?
He was helpful, yeah.
But you knew he was erratic. I thought you'd take responsibility.
I thought you were a cop, not a lawyer. Andrea told me about your baby. That it might be your partner's.
They're looking over, looking
I
over.
have the music. It's
Oh,
like
no.
Oh, my
And
God.
now he's looking down at him.
Yeah.
I brought whiskey.
I don't like this.
Dozens of interviews.
There you go.
To you.
Swing better, swing better. Oh, they're gonna try to outdazzle each other.
Yeah, right?
Ooh, got two for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Beat ya.
For Menthos.
Douchebag.
Well, you're in apocalypse. Take what you can.
Yeah.
sucks.
Thanks. Yeah, this is a joke, right?
I know.
How long after the initial bite?
Immediately.
You didn't bleed out? Your stump, I'd like to,
At least buy me a drink first.
I care about my people, and I don't take their deaths lightly, and I know you don't either. In a way, this fight, it's a failure of leadership. If we choose to destroy everything we've fought for over the past year. I was at work one day, and the phone rang. My wife had been in an accident. Gone. She'd left a voicemail asking me to call her, but I hadn't had a chance yet.
Oh, see, taking a drink. See, now he wants to get closer to him. Nice work.
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna live here with us, it's gonna be on our terms. If Michonne can do it, why can't you?
Oh, guys, don't fight. Come on.
She's not gonna let him do anything. Yep, there she is.
What happened with Maggie?
He's a sick man. We're family. You belong with us.
Don't do any heart-to-hearts. Come on, this is your enemy.
They still think that I'm the man that can keep them safe. They still think I know what I'm doing. That was quite a stash you brought back the other day.
You know you have guns.
Now, my people, they're not combat tested like yours are, but you have something that I want. I don't want your prison. That doesn't sound safe at all. I mean, you lost your wife, another man.
We're not moving on.
I want Michonne. All those lives you're in prison.
Don't do it.
Gonna dress and roll up to look at Michonne. Here you go. Just kidding.
They ain't killers.
Rick is. And how do you explain letting me get away?
I must have been seduced by your sterling personality. You shogun the governor's ass. I'll take care of the rest.
I hope he's not using Michonne as like a bargaining chip to go back to the.
You get people killed.
This is all fake.
It's on you. Keep you company?
It was a hell of a chokehold.
I should have put him to sleep.
And you needed your space, and I didn't give you that. I'm sorry.
Rah.
I know.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, he's got an eye
Pay
on.
attention.
Okay.
Woohoo.
You see boobies?
Should have brought him, right?
Yeah. So much for keeping watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So why waste your time on a two-bit vendetta? You could have a statue of yourself in the town square.
You could save your son. Save your daughter. Everyone you know.
I give you Michonne. How do I know you'll keep your word?
Yeah.
You think about it. 2 days. I'll be here at noon.
Andrea, she doesn't want to go with them. At least no bloodshed.
This time. Yeah, look at him.
Are you questioning me?
I wonder if she's going to do him in. You scum.
He's looking at her.
Can't stand him.
Wants to prison.
You're lying.
Yeah.
He's not going to give up Michonne.
That's right.
It's not good, but it's good. She's one of them.
Oh, yeah.
The group's taking it as well as can be expected. We're in this together.
He gave me a choice. A way out. Michonne,
Glad he's telling him that.
Kill her.
what if this is the answer?
If she hadn't come here, we never would have known they were taken. She's earned her place.
Are you willing to sacrifice your daughter's lives for her?
I'm hoping you can talk me out of it.
It's like, shh, bugs.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
Boy, my God. Whoa.
They can't let her go back to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She won't do it. She'll be like, no, just let me go. I'll be on my own.
Yeah. Wow.
What do you mean, Michonne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She finds out. She's going to say, just leave me alone and I'll just go it alone.
Yeah, like she has, like she was in the past.
Or she might just say, let me at him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if she just left and said, I'm just going to go alone, then they lose the deal anyways.
Right,
And-
they're going to be
Yeah.
killed.
Yeah, so would they
It's
even
going to be
let
a
her go
war
at
no
that
matter
point?
what.
Yeah.
You know? So what'd you think?
I was surprised Andrea went back with him. I was
Mhm.
really surprised with that.
And well, do you know why? Because if she didn't go back, then it would be solidified. There would be all-out war.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Right, especially
That's
at
right,
this
yeah.
moment where there's a negotiation. You know, she brought them to negotiate. She
Yeah,
has
she
to
did.
still follow through with that negotiation. She don't know what they discussed about,
No.
but she has to go back. But the long term, what she wants to do is go back with our guys.
yeah. And she is sleeping with the governor, and the townspeople see her with him all the time, whether or not it's fully established. Like it seems like it is, that everyone knows that she's his woman. But
Yeah,
that's right.
you know, that's a huge hit on his end. If she made all this happen, they go out and then she doesn't return.
Yeah, that's true.
So whether it's just his guards that know that, you know, that looks like weakness. So not only does it hit his pride, but it just looks weak, you know?
Yeah.
So it just would be bad. And I felt really bad for Andrea on this episode
That's right.
because, yeah, she made a lot of bad decisions in the past, but here you can see she's at a loss. Like she does want to go back with Rick's group because she was originally there first and is family.
Yeah, she might still do him in though.
She might, especially
Right.
now that she knows that he did
That's what I
something to
mean,
Maggie.
Definitely.
Now,
Oh my
now
God, I
she
felt that.
knows that
Mhm.
something happened with Maggie. So whether she thinks it's rape or he was, you know, assaulting her in some
That's
way,
right.
something was up.
Yeah, like that was
So
devastating
I think
for her.
that might be a thing. She might go along with it. You know, you only have a couple of days. She doesn't know the particulars.
Yeah.
So she only has a small window of time.
That's right.
She might be just so disgusted and not even going, you know, close to him intimately until this is a done deal. But I think what she found out about Maggie, that was something in
think
her
so, too.
saying, you know, this is, I
know.
really want
My
to get the
God,
hell out
yeah.
of here.
And everything else she's been hearing at this point, it's like to be in love with a guy where you're just in denial so much. I mean, here's your other family who keeps saying like they keep getting attacked by this guy, and you find out all these lies. And again, he has fish tanks with heads in them in his living space. Like,
Yeah, right.
what?
A lot of
You know,
other
and I know. So I did feel bad for her, but it just sucks, you know. Like I would want to go back with Rick's
Sure.
group, and you're just at a loss because you can't.
Oh yeah,
I'd say
you know,
yeah.
and she was so enticed by this group, you know, Woodbury, you know, the ideal of, you know, this nice neighborhood, you know, setting, and I can sleep with the head guy. Oh, this
That's
is
right, yeah,
great.
it
I
is.
can have, you know, all the amenities. And
That's right.
What can you you have everything at your fingertips pretty much in this apocalypse anyway,
Yeah, I don't think she did it for power or to feel like she had to be high up. Although she does like to.
She likes
lead.
to be in the. She likes to be in the know.
Yeah,
all
she
the
does like
time.
to gather everyone together and
right.
help out in a way and be more of like a leader in a way.
Yeah.
But just being in Woodbury, it kind of reminds you of how it was.
Right.
That's
you want to
right, yeah,
have
definitely,
something to cling to, something of
Just safety.
normalcy. Yeah.
Roof over your head and food and
Shower,
everything else,
yeah.
shower and everything
Medical,
else.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
hospital of some
drinks.
sort, not really, but a doctor or nurse or
That's right.
something. And so it
And
just seems a lot
community.
safer.
Yeah.
But it's a very scary world out there.
It
Yeah,
is.
my
It
God.
is, and even you see it with Milton. Milton really doesn't agree with the governor,
Yeah.
and you can see him, like, really upset about the governor changing his plan, and he got a little close to Herschel, not too close, but they connected a little bit.
That's right.
And even Reyes, his name Reyes, he connected with Daryl a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, that was yeah.
So now they're, it's humanizing them more.
That's
they're
right.
not enemies. You're
Yeah.
all in this together
That's
you took a different path, of course, but, we're all the same. We're, there's not going to be a good outcome for anyone.
Yeah, and they all know that. It's
Yes.
crazy because even them talking, saying like, it's like they're gonna talk their talk and go back, and there's gonna be all out war,
Exactly.
soon. So it's just gonna be bad. And just with Daryl sharing that cigarette too, it's almost like a truce. Like we're on the same plane here,
Right.
Yeah.
and the same playing field, and it's all gonna be bad soon. So just to have that where they can actually think like, oh well, they could be friends, but
That's
they
right,
can't
yeah.
because he. Or at
Right.
least
They just happen to
the
be on the
governor's
wrong
like-
side
Yeah.
of each other.
bad man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with our group, I was so happy when Rick came back from the discussion and saying, we're going to fight. I thought he totally dismissed the whole idea of even thinking to give Michonne to him because he knows what he's going to do to her. And I just thought, okay, he was just thinking, we're just going to go against him completely because there is I'm not going to give him Michonne. But maybe it's just because he's trying to scare them and say, oh my God, we have to go into this war. And then he's going to finally say, oh, well, I do have, there's another, way we can get around this if Michonne goes to him. And we all know that he went to Herschel to get some guidance, but
I guess.
what do you do?
Yeah, because going in there and saying that to everyone, at first I was like, that's really good that he didn't talk about Michonne because, first of all, him being a good leader, he can read the governor and how good he is at manipulating and sounding truthful.
Yeah.
And him like saying, he told Herschel like, I need them to be scared so they'll agree to fight back, because they have no other choice. So that way they're all prepared, which is still terrible to go to war, yes. But to give up Michonne, if he just came out with that option, who knows who would agree with that. And then they would start fighting amongst each other. Who knows what would happen there.
Right.
Then that's still fearful. I mean, I'm sure Merle would be like, heck yeah, let's get rid of Michonne. And then everyone would go against Merle. And who knows who else would also side with that. Because no one really knows Michonne. Like, yeah, she earned her place for sure. I don't think people would turn on her besides Merle. But I just think that would be bad because everyone's so scared already. And if they think, well, one person versus many lives, what do you do? I think... survival. I mean, this is a good group of people care for each other, but still, you don't want a bunch of people to die. And if it's certain only one, then is it worth doing? Right. But you don't know if he's going to hold his side of the deal.
And Rick said, that's what Rick said. He goes, if we give him Michonne, he's going to kill us all anyway.
Yeah.
So
thank goodness he thinks that way. Because if he was naive enough to believe him, I'm like, yeah,
he's
you
a
would
liar. I mean, he's a cop. He reads people. He was reading the governor just as much as the governor thought he was reading Rick.
Yeah.
I'm going to let his guard down. I'm going to give him some whiskey. We're going to talk and tell him how my wife died and
to really humanize and be like, oh, it's pathetic.
And
which it is a sad story because everyone lost people. He lost his wife before the pandemic,
That's right,
before
yeah.
the apocalypse. But,
Right.
you know, and it was a very sad story because it's true. You think of what if and all that. And it made me also think that maybe if this whole, like, infection didn't even happen, this whole disease with the walkers, if that never happened, would he still be a decent guy? I mean, I don't know if he was really decent before that,
Yeah.
but it just shows me, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but, you know, how this world completely changes you.
Absolutely. I mean, you even look at Morgan.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
you see
Morgan's
Morgan, you
totally
see
different.
everybody. You see Carol. Everyone is changing. Everybody
Definitely.
is a
You can't help
completely,
but change.
other person. You try to keep your core values, and that's why our group stays together so well, because they have good values.
That's
And family is everything, and it doesn't. You don't have to be blood to be family, and they just work so
That's
well
good, yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And they have one common goal, and that is just to survive together.
Yeah. And
That's
Rick,
crazy.
yeah, and Rick being such a great leader too. I mean, I do like seeing that weakness though, where I love how Herschel's like his advisor, and he's
That's
like,
good.
being human, he goes, but what if he will withhold or keep up his end of the deal and actually like just want Michonne, and then we get to stay here? Like, I in this moment would think, okay, well, he's just speaking his thoughts because he knows that's not going to happen, but he just needs to hear someone else, because there is a lot of pressure for him to make all these decisions on his own.
There is.
And God forbid it's the wrong decision, everyone's going to freaking die, or mostly everyone's going to die, and that's on him,
Right.
So what do you do at that point? So it's good that he has Herschel to talk to. And at this moment I was like, yeah, I know he needs to weigh his options. And the governor hit a chord where he's like, well, what about your son? What about your daughter? They're going to die too or something. And so then Rick projected that onto Herschel. What about your daughters? Are you willing to sacrifice your daughters for Michonne? And it really puts things in perspective. Like, there's different kinds of love out there, and Michonne's new to the group, and they're not that, like a father's love to his kids is like very strong for the most part. At least I would hope so. So having that fear of, holy crap, like I'm weighing my kid's life with this person that is new to the group. It's hard. Like, you got to think that way. And I don't think it's right, but it's scary. Like, you're in a world where you're going by this crazy guy's word. He's probably not going to keep it, as we know, but just saying that our group doesn't see what he's saying, and they don't trust him anyways. And thank God Rick is smart enough to be like, yeah, he's going to try to kill us anyways.
Yeah.
But maybe
but
not.
also, Michonne did save Herschel's life. She saved many people's lives.
she
I mean,
did,
she
definitely.
had them get Maggie and Glenn out of there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she is a valuable member. So, and they're all going to say, they all know, what he's like pretty much. They've already seen, how, ruthless he is. He just pops in on them, and tries to get him out of the prison. Oh, I could have killed you kind of attitude, but I didn't. They know he's not going to live up to his bargain. They're not going to get the one side of the river. There's no way. Mm-hmm. And they know, okay, if I give him this, okay, what else is he going to want? He's going to want Merle. Okay, if I give him that, what else is he going to want?
I know, like, trying to act like...
So it's not going to come to fruition. No. It's not going to be true.
Yeah, and he crashed your home. Like, he took a van of walkers, shot up the place, killed one of your members, and, and, like, that was just, like, saying, hello, knocking on your front door.
See? And I could have killed you, but I didn't. No. So he's going to be intimidating.
Keep picking off people.
Anytime he wants to be. So they have to nip it in the bud, either leave. I thought they were going to just opt to leave.
Yeah.
Because
with again, you change in this kind of world. So in my mind state now, I'd be like, all right, we're going to have to leave. They have such a great place, though. I mean, it's dreary, but it's safe. It has huge walls when you clear, and there's nothing else there to hurt you. But
you're not out in the open.
You're not out in the open, and God forbid you go into even just one walker until you start to learn that. But then a herd can overwhelm you. Wow. It's scary. So I think I would say, okay, let's move on. But you have a baby, and you're very situated there. You have Herschel with one leg, and it's going to be really rough out there. And who knows what else you're going to bump into out there. You don't know, because here we're having the prison as a small community. You have Woodbury as a community. And, you know, that's full of crazies, or at least you have one major tyrant. And you never know. So you just have all these possibilities or unknown things that it's just scary. What do you do? Like, fighting back would make me be like, we have no chance. You know, you'd have to set up a lot of booby traps or something.
Get Morgan.
Wow. Yeah, right, Morgan. Clear! I shouldn't make fun of that, the poor guy, but I just had like a Family Guy moment of like,
bring your rabbits!
Right? Yeah, just like squirrels on skateboards or something.
That's right.
Yeah, or rats. But one thing about this episode, I thought this was well done because it was very quiet. It was so intimidating at the beginning.
Oh my God, yes.
Getting thrown right into that, because last time we went on a side adventure, not really an adventure, but we saw Morgan and just learning more about Michonne and bonding with the group, or with Carl at least.
Was great.
And then jumping right into this that they just meet up, and you guys were like, what's going on?
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
I remember I freaked out the first time, and I was just like, oh my God, because you see the gun there, we just don't trust the governor.
Yeah,
and
are there any other people, you know, in the shadows in that barn?
Yeah, it looks like someone was looking down at them.
Right, and then
and then the clicking of guns, or him like hitting the table, and
doors, the hatches open, so anyone could be looking down with a gun pointed at
crazy
Rick.
Cameraman. Yeah, you just never know, and I think I might have thought that too. But that's why they were doing those kind of shots, to really make us uneasy, because it was very uncomfortable. And how brave was it for these two guys? I mean, I know the governor's crazy, but they both go out and meet up, not knowing what's going to happen, like thinking there's a good chance I could die here today. Yeah. And I mean, the governor's worse because he really doesn't give a crap about his guys.
No, he
doesn't.
Exactly,
Rick does.
No, he doesn't.
And also, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't really care anymore.
That's
his
right.
daughter is gone, really gone. And, you know, he has no family. So he's given up everything. He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. And Rick has so much, you know, his whole life is at that prison. So.
Yeah. So what do you think about Merle wanting to go out against Rick's wishes, to go out there and kill the governor? Do you think that should have happened? Or do you think it's good it didn't?
I don't think
I think
so.
it would have been
caused more problems. You know.
You know, if that is really only the two guys he brought Reyes and Milton there, they could have taken him down hands down. But we really don't technically know if there were other guys around. But yeah, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, and you could have lost other people because you don't know. Daryl could have been killed, or Herschel.
Yeah,
I mean, I know Herschel's amazing. He has a gun on his leg, but still, like, he can't move quick.
Oh, yeah.
He might be a quick draw, but he can't, like, physically.
Milton would be no problem, but Reyes is pretty...
Poor Milton. Yeah. I do like Milton and Herschel connecting.
I do too, and I think that really
good,
hit home for both of them, that, you know, doesn't matter, you know, you're still who you are. You know, I think they appreciated each other's, you know, their sides of, like, okay, he's a data taker, and, you know, I think they would have got along much better if they had time, but...
Yeah, and he learned something major about, wow, you got your leg cut off, and you didn't get infected.
Eliminate a limb to survive.
And
he's very excited about that. It's all about the science.
And I got to give Glenn credit, too, because he really stood his ground at the prison. I mean, here Merle beat the living crap out of him.
That's right.
And he stood up to him and took him down. I mean, it was a hard wrestle. I mean, like, they rolled down the stairs, too. But here, Merle has that freaking hand with the freaking knife out of it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he takes it off sometimes, but, you know, he was, like, pointing it at Glenn at one point. And I'm like, this guy's not just fighting you. He's going to kill you. And right away, because, again, Merle wants to save his brother. And I can understand that because he loves, like, that's his family and he loves his brother. But the fact that you're going to kill this guy over it, I mean, but it's hard to say that. But I would say, because you're going to kill this guy, you're totally not really one of them.
Yeah.
You know, because you kept seeing the knife kind of, right? It was like on the side of the
it was there. He had
it
right in his face.
Mm-hmm. But Maggie did.
Good old Maggie.
And Maggie and Glenn hooked up again, so things are good.
They got very close.
Yeah. So things worked out. And it was a very traumatic thing before, so they just had to clear the air a bit, and I'm glad that worked out for them. You know?
Yeah.
But you got to keep a lookout, because thank goodness nothing happened, right?
That's right.
So I think we'll end it there. Can't wait to watch the next episode. Please subscribe, guys. We're trying to grow to 200,000 subscribers. And we'll see you very soon, as always. Bye, guys.
Bye.